Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to do an update on the situation with Limited Run Games, LRG. Man, they really stepped in it. So for those of you who missed the first video or who are blissfully unaware of what's going on, Limited Run Games produces supposedly limited runs of physical copies of games with lots of perks and extras. And we actually are fans of them. We actually, well, were past tense, had some of their releases, and we just ordered a bunch more this week. And I'm trying to get my money back on that. They fired their community manager for following the wrong people on Twitter and for a tweet she made back in 2016, right? That a trans activist took to be transphobic. The thing is, we're gonna dig into this a little bit. This particular activist, this one person that got their community manager fired, apparently has a history of harassing people.
And being abusive.
And it's well documented. So I hope it was worth a limited run because they're getting demolished online.
I also want to point out that the CEO of Limited Run Games, they have their Twitter bio up. And in their Twitter bio, it says, tweets don't reflect the views of my employer.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about this because this is a very hypocritical thing for them to fire somebody based on their political views when they haven't done anything necessarily wrong. They just followed, I guess some of the wrong accounts include Libs of TikTok, Gina Carano, I guess she followed Gina Carano, and Ian Miles Chong, who is like a journalist that talks to Elon Musk all day from what I can gather, and he was big into gamer stuff back in the day.
Not a white person.
No, he's not.
I'm just going to point that out.
Not white either. So we're going to talk about this because we're going to talk about the person that got her canceled. It is actually the founder of BronyCon, and there is a well-documented history of crazy behavior, basically, and they tossed their employee under the wheels of the bus to appease this one person. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Almost 285,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. Again, we do talk about video game news occasionally. We are fans of retro games. In fact, we have a massive game room full of retro games and very expensive stuff, and we do buy limited run games from time to time. And we just bought a bunch this week, and I actually publicly asked them for a refund because this is bullshit.
They're not going to give you one.
I don't think I'm
If you even get them, it could take months.
Yeah, so let's talk about what happened. We'll talk about limited run, and then we'll talk about the person that got their manager canceled. So this is coming from Niche Gamer. Games distributor Limited Run Games has fired their community manager, seemingly over public outcry for who they follow on Twitter, right? So this is a little more information than what we had yesterday, because I thought it was just liking tweets. Apparently there was one specific tweet, which we'll talk about.
That's their investigation.
That's their investigation. Okay. Yeah, now, to be clear, before we get into this, if their employee was actually saying shitty transphobic things as they were employed for Limited Run Games, or using company email to send out email blasts about hating certain groups of people, yes, that is absolutely a fireable offense. We're talking this person went and dug up her tweet history from 7 years ago.
And why did she dig up the tweet history? Because this girl said she was excited about the new Harry Potter game.
Yes, this all started, as far as I can tell, everything I've looked into seems to indicate that this whole thing started because the community manager for Limited Run Games publicly said she was excited for Hogwarts Legacy, which of course has become this very polarizing thing.
But here's the thing, most people don't even know it's an issue. Like, no. I mean, unless you're on Twitter all fucking day, or crappy day, or you're watching these videos like ours, or you're, somehow in gaming news sites. Most people don't even know that there's a controversy around the Hogwarts Legacy game. And now that people are finding this out, they're buying the game because they want to stick it to the people causing the controversy.
Yes. And again, we've done multiple videos about this. I think the insanity is going to ramp up, especially at outlets like Kotaku, which we have another video coming later today talking about Kotaku. But let's talk about this. So this is what they did. They not only did they terminate her, they did it publicly. They basically hung her out to dry in public. They made an example of her.
Well, do you have their statement?
Yeah. LRG respects all personal opinions. However, we remain committed to supporting an inclusive culture, the company said in a tweet. Upon investigating the situation, an employee was terminated. Our goal as a company is to continue to foster a positive and safe environment for everyone.
Everyone that agrees with our point of view or their point of view. And someone, I think it was Neurotic, said about hating women. It's like, you must hate women.
Yeah.
And as a woman, if I don't feel safe by your behavior, are you going to terminate yourself?
I think they're going to get terminated. I think that this was an attempt to appease wasn't even a vocal minority, one person that they thought they would get fist bumps for, and all that's happening is they're bleeding out followers on Twitter. We'll talk about that. It is going to cost them big time because, look, they're losing Twitter followers like crazy. We're going to go into their tweets after we give you a little background into this and show you just how much damage they have done to themselves, that people, everything they post, even just an innocuous tweet about a new game coming out, they're getting blasted by gamers being like, what the hell are you doing? I'm never buying from you again. And this is a company that is now owned by Embracer Group.
Yeah, most people don't know that. It's a subsidiary, an independently run subsidiary of Embracer Group, but it's owned by Embracer Group.
As of August.
Right.
So
I guess you can complain to Embracer Group, maybe? I don't know.
I guess you could, because so this is what Embracer Group is embracing, I guess. And this is the same company that bought other video game companies. They bought Dark Horse Comics, I guess.
Now, the guy that used to be the CEO, he isn't there anymore, and he was over at a different company for a while, but he actually leaned right, didn't he?
I think so. Now, because of this, now here's the thing. Most people just kind of just mindlessly bought limited run games and didn't think much of it. But because of this, video exposés talking about their business practices are now starting to come up again. And apparently there's been a lot of criticism about their business practices. And so all of this dirt on limited run games that would not have come out is coming out because of this one idiotic instance.
So this is coming from Mr. IXRT. You can go find that video on YouTube.
Yeah, and I was looking through it, and they're basically, his position is that they artificially inflate demand. It's FOMO, fear of missing out. They jack up their prices, and the whole thing is basically three-card Monte, but people are paying for their games, and they're paying for these collectibles, but it really is an artificial market. And there are other companies like limited run games. They're not the only ones.
But they said in the video that those ones usually are trying to preserve the game, where limited run makes changes sometimes.
Yeah, and I was actually going to buy Sam & Max. I'm a huge fan of Sam & Max, but apparently the version that they're going to preserve, the archived version of Sam & Max Hit the Road, is actually a censored version of Sam & Max, and I have no interest in owning that. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, the ex-employee is named Kara Lynn. She followed Ian Miles Chong, who claimed it was due to her following both him and other notable accounts, including Libs of TikTok, and as I understand it, Gina Carano. Both accounts are kind of notorious for stirring the pot, but are they fireable? No, I don't think to follow them is a fireable offense unless you agree to that when you read the employee handbook that we're going to,
And if some of these, usually in the handbook, they don't tell you who you can follow. And if the CEO is telling you what you can tweet and who you can follow, then why the hell do they have a disclaimer on theirs? Tweets don't reflect the views of my employer.
Yeah.
If you can be fired over tweets, why the hell does he have that in his bio?
Yep. So anyway, from the looks of it, it started after a witch hunt of sorts, started a pressure campaign that started the company to cave and remove the employee from their roster. We'll talk about the tweet that was supposedly the tweet that got her removed, that was from 7 years ago, probably predating her time with the company. There are other claims that she was fired for publicly expressing her excitement for Hogwarts Legacy, which is now considered transphobic. Removing the community manager is a mistake and will only embolden these types of people. We're going to talk about that because this particular person has a long history of this kind of behavior. They see the blood in the water and will never stop.
Oh my God, this paragraph here.
Yeah, the same kind of outrage campaign on social media from the same people that led to Carolyn being fired also led to developer killing himself, which kicked off. That is what kicked off Gamergate. So we have a whole lot of things going on here.
Limited Run is ironically selling his game after his death.
Yes, this is...
Oh, no! I saw it. I thought it looked cute. I was like, oh, we should buy that.
Oh, there's a whole story there.
Oh, my God.
That's what kind of, as I understand it, kicked off Gamergate was...
Oh, I don't know. We weren't there for Gamergate. Contrary to the narrative, we were not around for that.
As I understand it.
We're not there.
That is what kicked off Gamergate. Another recent outrage campaign was directed at MagFest, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about another video too, more in depth, aren't we? About Kotaku.
Yes, there is something going on.
It's going to be a busy day, guys.
It
Get
is.
Your popcorn.
I thought it was going to be a slow news day, and I'm going to tell you my theory. I have a theory, and I tend to have a lot of theories, and they're just theories. I can't prove it. Just a hunch. Just my tinfoil mouse ear is going off.
Your editor sniffer.
My editor sniffer. That'll get you canceled.
I meant your nose.
Yeah, I used to be an actual newspaper editor.
I realized it was a mistake after I said it.
I think that gaming journos are trying to stir the shit as much as they can or do as much damage as they can on the way out.
Well, also, they kept trying to bring
they
keep desperately trying to bring Gamergate back. We've been pointing this out to you guys for a couple of years now. They keep bringing it up for no reason. Like, they're going to do movies about it, which I think they might have scrapped those.
I think
you don't hear anything else about it. But then when they started announcing they were going to do movies on this, then all of this, Gamergate kept getting brought up again and again by the outlets, especially the ones involved in the films. And they're just desperately trying to find a new boogeyman to pin everything on.
Yeah, there's something going on, and I know for a fact that these people talk in Discord and Slack, back channel, journalists from different publications. They all hang out together. It's a clique, it's a lockdown group, and they're all kibitzing, and they're all trying to basically get rid of anybody who is a wrong thinker in their industry.
Heaven forbid people want to just play games for fun and get along. We can't have that. We got to find, istophobes under every rock and every corner so we can start screaming about it, make everybody fight each other so they can get hits, they can stay in business, and they can keep everybody angry at each other, and so they can, continue.
Yeah. So let's, again, talk about the blowback. And that's really where I want to go with this video, because this is a disaster. They have destroyed their credibility. They're losing Twitter followers like crazy, but it's worse than that.
Did you see this comment down here? Go down. This kind of crap is part of why I left game industry. I'm not even deeply conservative, more of a libertarian.
You join the club.
But it was made very clear to me more than once at those offices, those weren't the right values.
Imagine what would happen if, hey, Dickus Pickus. Imagine what would happen if employers stopped caring what a few morons said on Twitter.
I know, right?
Yeah. So this is the thing. We'll get to the person. We'll get to the person that actually did the cancellation here in a minute.
That's mostly what this is about.
Yeah. Starting off 2023, right? Limited run games. Here's the new roundup, Sam and Max, which I was excited about. Look at the replies.
Was it Loom was coming and you were excited
Loom
about
was
that
coming,
too?
so they got the Lucasfilm. Yeah, I was like, damn it, those are two of my favorite PC games. And imagine firing an employee because of who they follow on Twitter, playing the limited run games.
Limited Run is a terrible company now, always has been.
Again, people are starting to dig up dirt on their business practices. Mm-hmm. And, I was unaware of it. I mean, I basically just saw games I liked and I bought them. I like physical copies. I like to collect stuff. I have, gaming books. In fact, a lot of what Geeky got me for Christmas this year were video game history books and stuff like that, which I'm really into. And I did.
We were going to buy some books from them.
We were going to buy some books from them.
And it's not fair because the people that probably did the books aren't, are going to be caught up in this,
Yep. Starting off in 2023, firing people over political beliefs. I hope she sues the shit out of y'all. Hypocrites, you don't support inclusivity.
Or no, that's what inclusivity is. Inclusivity means, we're inclusive of everybody else except for people we don't agree with.
Letting a small, worthless minority of woke individuals control what you do. Now, here's the thing. I don't even think it's a minority. I think it's like literally one person. Learning how you fired someone because one activist said they didn't like what one of your employees said 6 years ago will now prevent me from supporting you with a single dime.
But wait till you see how far the rabbit hole goes with this one activist.
We're getting there because this isn't
that's what we were waiting for.
Well, we're building up to that. You got to give us that watch time, people. We got to stay in business. Clownfish needs cheddar.
I'm tired of foreplay. Let's go for the main event.
Whoa, let's just do it. Anyway, look, it's not going well. Every single tweet, they've had to basically protect their tweets.
They had their limiting who can reply.
Like, here's another, look, people at Limited Run Games mentioned only can reply. So nobody's getting excited. So now people are quote tweeting them.
Yes.
Most misogynistic company of the year award goes to. Sounds like working at Limited Run Games is dangerous too. Scary company. You got to think the way they tell you to think. Business as usual for these effing idiots. LRG respects all personal opinions. Unless it's the fans we don't like, you stay silent. Now, here's the thing. Their demographic, in a lot of cases, are guys like me. people like me, old school gamers who want physical copies of classic games.
And their manager, so was it community manager that got fired? She was just posting about how excited she was about a game.
Which is what I would want my gaming company community manager to post about. I'd rather she be posting about how excited she is about games than talking about all the misogyny and the sexism and the politics, whatever. Now, granted, she did follow some accounts that were political. Everybody does.
Everybody does.
There are people I get along with.
They were the wrong accounts.
There are people I get along with fine with in comics and in games that have 180 political beliefs from myself. They're just adults and they understand that there's a time and a place for that conversation.
And it's like you don't have to insert it into every little thing. Your whole identity doesn't have to be how you vote.
No, and beyond that, like if you're not attacking if you're not out there attacking somebody, if again, if I had an employee that was out there whacking the beehive and actually attacking people, okay, just because they were getting off for attacking people, and it was obviously hurting our business, I'd be like, yeah, could you just stop? Could you just stop? Just stop it.
But that's not the case here.
That's not the case. Because actually what happened, as I understand it, this was the tweet. And again, thank you, Andrew. This was the tweet that got her fired from 6 years ago. This wasn't this year. It wasn't last week. It wasn't in response to the person that got her canceled.
No. And if she was working, if this was when she was working at the company, they let it go all this time. Why care now?
Right.
If it was before she worked at the company, it was before she worked there. Why care now?
Now, again, even in this instance, it's a pretty mild take.
Right. You don't have to agree with the person's comment. It's just about, how it's being used.
Yeah. So Carol Lynn said in 2016, 7 years ago, if you think the number of trans people crying about using a bathroom is higher than the pervs using the excuse, you're what's wrong with this world. The take being people are going to misuse,
and that happened,
It does happen.
And it's a sad situation. We talked about before in here. It's really sad for people who are legitimately trans because they might want to use a bathroom they feel safer in so they don't get abused. But unfortunately, people will use that as an opportunity to pretend to be trans to go in to assault people, which has happened.
Now, here's the thing. And again, regardless of where you stand on that particular issue, right? I have seen Marvel Comics editors, IDW Comics editors, DC Comics freelancers, current year out there wishing for physical harm on political adversaries, people that disagree with them. I've seen Marvel Comics.
People with a baseball bat if you're cis male.
Yes, I've seen Marvel Comics editors telling people while they were working at Marvel Comics that if they voted for Trump, they were going to be blacklisted. They would see to it that they were blacklisted from the comic book industry.
But that's okay.
That's okay.
And
but
before these dipshits have a hissy fit, you're like, oh, it's because you're all right. We're not.
No. And actually,
we're just reasonable.
Most of the people that are having an issue with cancel culture bullshit are not. Oh, right.
Well, I sent a comic to Neon. You don't have to pull it up today that someone had posted, and it was like a van that said, Democrats then or left leaning people then, and it was like, you can't silence us, free speech, yay, down with the establishment. And they had it now in a bigger van, and it had like, it was like praise the establishment, down with free speech and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, it's so true.
It is so weird.
We didn't change, you did.
We went from Occupy Wall Street to standing for corporations in 10, 12 years.
I know. And like you say about you changed, like we never changed.
We still dunk on corporations. We dunk on some of the biggest corporations out there, and we've got people that don't even have 2 cents to rub together, spending all their time trying to cancel us when they should be taking a good hard look at where their loyalties lie, because these companies, and again, we saw this firsthand with Dungeons and Dragons, it's Hasbro. They don't care about you. They're a for-profit corporation, but you spent all this time thinking they were your friends and attacking anybody who is critical of the company for being a company. And you claim to be a socialist. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is backwards bizarro world. Anyway, let's get back into this. Let's talk about who actually...
Okay, finally, we're getting into the actual stuff.
Purple Tinker. I knew the name was familiar. I couldn't quite place Purple Tinker. I thought maybe I'm just thinking of the Teletubbies.
No.
But no, Purple Tinker is the founder of BronyCon, and I saw Purple Tinker in a documentary on BronyCon. That's why the name sounded familiar. Purple Tinker is a self-described trans activist and The thing is you go down the rabbit hole and you look a very simple Google search and you look into Purple Tinker, you will find that Purple Tinker, God, I can't believe I'm saying that. Like it's an actual name, but my name's Neon, so whatever.
Yeah.
But you start to realize that this person has a very long dramatic internet history, a lot of allegations of abuse,
Basically
verbal
goes
abuse.
around just looking for things to be pissed about.
Purple Tinker spends a lot of time getting pissed off at people, admits that they spend a lot of time getting pissed off at people, apologizes at length for getting pissed off at people.
Says they won't do it again.
Says they won't do it again, and then turns around and gets this poor community manager that's just
because they wanted to play the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Because they wanted to play the Hogwarts Legacy game. And I guarantee you Purple Tinker's probably out on these Discords and
what's
Slacks.
what I'm saying. All this person is doing is going around trying to find those who are interested in the game, seeing if they have connection to something they can cause them trouble with. Is what basically they're doing. And all this is doing, Purple Tinker, all this is doing is making them sell more games. You're actually creating the opposite effect of what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, Purple Tinker has deleted their Twitter account completely.
Well, do you have copies of things?
Well, the internet never forgets, so yes, there are some copies. So let's talk about Purple Tinker. Again, a very simple Google search.
So when they know people are going to start looking into them, they delete their Twitter account.
Yes.
Does this happen right after this?
Yes, this happened right after the drama.
That's even more funny.
They were protected, and then either they deleted it, or somebody at Twitter might have deleted it and said you actually were, dogpiling this person. So yeah, Purple Tinker apparently is the one who brought up this 2016 tweet. Purple Tinker is the founder of BronyCon, and there is a hell of a lot of drama around Purple Tinker. In fact, people were accusing Purple Tinker of being this is their words, not ours, just so you know, hopped up on meth and welding a knife at BronyCon. Yeah, so I don't know the details. I am not a brony. We have friends that are bronies. I'm sure if I...
He no longer identify.
Oh, he does not.
He said it got too toxic and he hates it.
What? Seriously? Bronydom got too toxic with people like this? Oh my God.
I love this article. My Little Pony is known for espousing virtues of love, tolerance, and friendship, but sometimes fans forget how to play nice. Purple Tinker, a transgendered LGBT advocate and founder of BronyCon, published a post on her Tumblr yesterday alleging that several staffers working at the Canterlot Gardens My Little Pony convention in Ohio made false claims about her. Purple Tinker claims that she was slandered and libeled after staffers at the convention spread rumors she was arrested for being hopped up on meth and deodorant.
Oh my God.
According to Tumblr, where she has documented 4 separate people who have confirmed to slander Purple Tinker, alleged staffers told fans in attendance that she was arrested in Ohio, that she was found to have a knife on her person, but I don't own any knives except for kitchen utensils. I am a meth user, or in some iterations, even a meth dealer. I've never done meth, nor have I ever done any illegal drugs, etc., etc. They deny the claims.
Okay, so look, again, these were rumors. Okay,
but people must know that if they're not true, people really, really did not like Purple Tinker to be spreading those rumors around.
That's the thing, and that's kind of what came up here. Apparently, Purple Tinker is not well liked by some parts of Bronydom. And again, I am not a brony. I don't know the full extent, but there was this whole post about Purple Tinker, founder of BronyCon, in the My Little Pony subreddit.
Okay.
Founder of BronyCon, C. Bronies, and organizer of charitable efforts, issues a long apology to individuals and organizations she has bullied and abused over the past 10 plus years. The tweet has been deleted because she took her whole Twitter down, or somebody did. The thing is the internet never forgets. So let us go out and look at this very lengthy. This was all on Twitter originally, and it's like 5 pages of apologies.
Okay. Let's find out what's going on.
Purple Tinker.
Oh wow!
You were right about me.
Why are you?
A long overdue apology to the Brony community and to my friends, former friends, colleagues, and former colleagues therein.
So a lot of formers there.
Yeah, talking about Josh Dean, the successor at BronyCon. After a lengthy and productive conversation with a remarkable friend, it hit me not just some of Josh's words had merit. His entire thread had merit.
Wait. In this tweet, he addressed me as perhaps the fandom's worst internet bully. I raged and frothed against this for days, even as I slowly came to a realization that at least some of his words had merit.
His entire thread had merit. So Purple Tinker, in Purple Tinker's own words, is admitting that Purple Tinker is a bully.
It's entirely correct.
Yes. And Limited Run Games not only fired this community manager for wrongthink, but made an example of her, publicly made an example of her to their own detriment. I mean, they are not going to recover from this. People are already like, you guys already had some iffy business practices, and with this shit, we're out.
Yes,
was it worth it?
You threw this person overboard. You might get, they probably, depending on if it was just those tweets or who you follow, you might get in trouble for it. For this person. And I love this. They said, go here. They said, I am and always have been perhaps the fandom's worst internet bully. Josh was spot on. He called me out. He said, I contain within me a monstrous and indiscriminate anger. And when it comes out, I become a nightmare. Many people in the fandom loathe me. Many people are afraid of me. And many people look down on me for my actions. And with the possible rare exception of anyone who may hate me out of simple bigotry. In virtual every case, I deserve the loathing people feel for me. The fear is well-founded.
Was it worth it? Limited run games.
I deserve to be thought less of for my actions. I have earned your contempt.
Was it worth it? Limited run games to throw your employee overboard, to toss her under the wheels of the bus, to appease a person who admits to being a rageaholic, who has had nonstop internet drama for 10 plus years, who is a known harasser.
By their own admission.
By their own admission. Was it worth it? Because you're going to lose sales. In fact, like I said, I publicly asked for my money back. I actually put a ticket in last night. I'm like, I'm not buying anything from you guys again. I'm not. Because that was, again, if you were going to fire somebody for doing something that you believe is transphobic or homophobic or whatever, you show me the emails that they're using company email to send out defamatory shit. You show me their tweets where they're making fun of certain groups of people.
But still,
online.
we don't, that's yet to be seen. But,
right. And that could be the case, but I have not seen that yet. All I have seen is one person who admits that they have anger issues and who has a long history of having anger issues and getting into it with people, going after one person over a game that they don't like because they're also a trans activist, and that person getting... So
they dug through their tweets and they found something they didn't like.
From 2016.
It took them 6 years of tweets to find something that they thought was anti-trans to yell about.
Yes. Like, I'm going to prove my point. Oh, look, she follows the wrong people. Oh, look, it's probably...
One tweet in 6 years.
If I had to guess, it probably went something like this. I would imagine Purple Tinker is probably serially online, was doing a search for Hogwarts Legacy to make sure nobody within the gaming community actually was going to support Hogwarts Legacy, came across the community manager of Limited Run Games. Well, we can't have that. Looked into who she followed. Oh my God, look at Gina Carano and Libs of TikTok. Well, we can't have that. I bet there's some transphobia in her closet. Let me go through her entire tweet history 7 years back until I find something that might support my rage. And then I'm going to go to the boss of Limited Run Games because I'm having a really bad day.
I feel violated because of a tweet they made 6 years ago, but basically because I'm just pissed about Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, I can almost guarantee you that's what's happened. That has happened to us before too. We've had people that are like, well, Clownfish TV said this one thing I didn't like, or they come into our mentions because we said, or we name checked as something that they're a fan of, and then they start going through all the shit that we've said and try to
out of context. Usually.
Out of context, or they'll pull up thumbnails of videos thinking they know what we're talking about.
But if you watch the video, it wasn't what we talked about.
Actually, not. To everyone else, I have bullied, excluding trolls and bigots. I was wrong, regardless of why I bullied you, regardless of why I emotionally abused or manipulated you. Only I am to blame. I'm so sorry, so sorry. My email address is, and we're going to block it out because people are accusing us of harassing the person who serially harasses other people. If I could never do anything to make amends, please reach out to me. To the trolls and bigots, this is where it gets really interesting. You, like me, have done awful things, and for that, in some cases, you deserved at least some of my anger. But what you didn't deserve was outright harassment.
Oh.
Let's highlight this. Harassing anyone, even the worst person, seldom leads to a good outcome. In fact, it may perpetuate a cycle of abuse or even make bad people worse people.
Or maybe sell more copies of Hogwarts Legacy.
And while I can't recall any specific examples of my reactions to trolls or bigots crossing the line into harassment or abuse, wait, what? While I can't recall any specific examples of my reaction to trolls or bigots crossing the line into harassment or abuse, and this was in the past.
I can think of one.
I can think of one now. I'd bet that I did, in fact, cross that line at least once. You sure did there, Tinker. You sure did. And if so, I'm sorry for that. In that, I failed you and I failed myself. I made you worse people. I debased myself and I accomplished nothing of value.
So basically, in all these years, nothing was learned.
Yeah, I know that many abusive actions, like my bullying tactics, come from a position of pain.
Oh, that's never an excuse.
So somebody just lost their job because you were having a really bad day and you don't like Hogwarts Legacy. I hope you're really happy about that.
So wait, but maybe that person made the comment they did 6 years ago from a position of pain.
Maybe that person was felt threatened. Nobody should feel threatened. Maybe that person felt threatened in a bathroom with somebody that just threw on a wig and wasn't actually trans. I don't know. You don't know where they're coming from. I'm just saying, this is some grade A bullshit that Limited Run Games kowtowed to a person who has a long history of internet rage.
And by their own admission.
By their own admission.
Abuses and bullies people.
Yes.
And harasses people.
Yes.
By their own admission.
Yes, by their own admission. So I hope you're happy. I really hope you're happy at Limited Run Games. I think you're going to lose a lot of sales. You're going to lose a lot of, let's see, is this one?
Yeah, mentioned.
Don't buy from this company. They're bigots. Looks like do not believe in female rights. Looks kind of cool. I would have bought it if you weren't a woke company that fires people based on who they follow.
Or not that one, Blue.
Cancel my Star Wars pre-order, my Final Fantasy 16 pre-order.
Good, that you can cancel.
Yeah. My best friend just canceled his Dead Space pre-order. His company decided they hated half the country for their personal beliefs. Buy from Play Asia instead. Yeah, it's going real well for you. But this is, again, you can't lay the blame at the feet necessarily of Purple Tinker because the company didn't have to listen to her. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to listen to her. They could have been like, okay, well, I'm sorry.
This is a personality trait. It's an ongoing pattern of behavior. By their own admission. So this is something that they're known for. But yeah, you fired somebody.
They can answer this. I want this. Oh, pre-orders were temporarily paused to accommodate our annual blowout sale.
Yeah, they did say they were going to do that. They were pausing them for the blowout sale. That's true.
Yeah, they're probably having to refund a lot of people too. So good luck. Good luck with that. Look
at the good boy or girl in the background.
Yeah, look at that. So now this poor doggy, because you listened to this person, ain't gonna get any dog food. I hope you feel bad about that.
I think we're supposed to support women in games. We're supposed to, women in games are. What I love is this whole Gamergate narrative is women are being kept down in gaming. Women are being stopped in gaming. So you have a woman who's prominent at a gaming company as a community manager, and she gets kicked off because of a tweet she made 6 years ago.
Yes.
By someone who admits that they harass people and take things too far all the time.
Yes.
So yeah, that's a really good way to show Gamergate how to keep women in gaming and women should be lifted up to better positions. And there are a lot of female gamers out there, and we should respect women and female gamers and women in gaming. Somebody who really isn't involved in gaming, they ran BronyCon, is now out here trying to get a woman who's actually getting somewhere, canceled. I'm just letting that sink in. Maybe because she didn't go by menstruating person. I'm going to say it. Maybe because she didn't go by menstruating person and other person's offended. I don't know.
So good luck with that, Limited Run Games. We will not support you here at Clownfish TV. Not that you want our support anyway, because I guarantee you we would be considered
they're
problematic.
Block us now.
I don't give a shit. You can shove it. I want my money back. I'm not buying anything else that you put out. This is ridiculous. This is literally one of the most ridiculous instances of cancel culture I have ever seen. One person that didn't like Hogwarts Legacy got this person canceled. And we know that this person is a known harasser.
Over a tweet from 6 years ago.
Over a tweet from 6 years ago.
And they dig back 6 years to find something.
And they didn't just fire her. They hung her out to dry publicly on Twitter.
Well, yeah, because, how dare you follow these accounts?
Yeah, so screw them. You get what you deserve, right? We're going to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.